cruising through the grain harbor here, ladies and gentlemen. Back in the 11th century, the second biggest port in Europe. I wasn't telling a joke, stupid duck. This was after Paris, the biggest harbor, and the Ghentians had the right to staple the grain, so they could claim 1/4 of all the grain that was transported here. That made the Ghentians very rich, and that's why we have all of this beautiful architecture in our harbor. For instance, here on the left, you can really take a walk through the centuries. The grey building is a 12th century grain storage area. Then a 17th century toll booth with the blue windows. And a 17th century guild house of the corn measurers with the big blue door. After the little alleyway, a 16th century guild house of the boatsmen. And that one was just sold last year for the measly price of 20 million euros.
Wow.
On the condition that they would invest another 20 million euros in the same building. On top of the door, you can see a ship carved out into the facade there. That's actually the ship that Christopher Columbus used to discover America back in 1490. 3 towers on the left-hand side. I like to call it the medieval Manhattan. We have the furthest one is the St. Bavo Cathedral, which houses the Mystic Lamb, the famous painting. The central tower is the belfry with on top of the roof a golden dragon. That golden dragon there has been protecting the city. 2 years ago it breathed fire during our annual festival. Finally, just in front of us, you can see the St. Nicholas Church. St. Nicholas Church is a 13th century Gothic church that was used by Napoleon to breed his horses during the French Revolution.
Perfect.
On the left-hand side, you can see a fish market. This is a 17th century building. Now it's not a fish market anymore, as you can see.
It's a restaurant.
It's a fancy market.
It's a beer market. They have some beers here next to the water. It's also the Touristical Information Center. And on the other side of the water, the meat market from the 15th century. On the left, you can see these 3 sculptures on top of the door there. That's Nestor, Luna, and Lena. Now, if you visited Brussels already, you might know the Monnik Abyss. It's actually the same sculpture. And Monnik Abyss is a very famous sculpture in Belgium because he was a mascot of the Belgian Tanning Guild, the leather workers of Belgium. To work on leather, make it nice and soft, you need a lot of ammonia, and you can find ammonia in Morning Europe. So they used to give money to these little guys to pee at the Tanners Guild. That's how they actually became such an important symbol here in Belgium. Use perfume, I don't think so.
We're calling them stinking.
But they call them stinking rich because back in the Middle Ages you could pay off your sins to the church. You could become a saint again if you gave enough money. And if you did that, the church would bury you inside of the church because you were very holy.
Oh my god.
And so all of these bodies inside the church started smelling a lot after a while. They really said, oh, the stinking rich people, I can smell them again.
I see, that's why they call them stinking.
Yes, now the stinking rich people, they had a stone house, or even better, a stone capstone. On the water. And behind that tree was a little boat with a couple inside making love on the water.